Hey you guys, what's up? I wanted to pop in here and talk a little bit on this topic. We talked about it quite a bit last night on the mastermind call that we have every single week for the most part. You have the ability to come to a mastermind call on Mondays at 11 a.m., on Tuesdays at 9 p.m., and on Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. Did I say 11 p.m.? 11 a.m. on Mondays. But that is always, that's a place, like I tried to hit all the different time zones and options when kids are napping, or maybe when kids are at preschool, or maybe at night because you work full time, trying to hit, so that you can rearrange your schedule and make it a priority when you need the help. So last night we were talking about the invite process, really good mastermind, a lot of digging in. And I was working with one of my amazing coaches one-on-one, and I was like, you know what, let me go live on this, because chances are that she's not the only one. It's like, okay, how do we navigate this? So I wanted to make sure that I could kind of help you along your journey of inviting, because like I talked about last night, we have to invite, right? It's part of the recipe. It's just like cheesecake or a cake recipe, or think about like a family recipe maybe that is just like the bomb, right? Maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas, or you ask for it for your birthday or whatever. And this recipe, if followed, it's a secret recipe, but if followed, if given to anybody, if given to me, if I followed it to a T, I would get the same amazing cheesecake or the same amazing macaroni and cheese, like whatever it is, right? The same, but I might do mine differently with my personality, meaning I might play music while I make the mac and cheese, or as I get the ingredients out, as I add them to the bowl, I put them away, whereas Chad would leave all his ingredients out, right? There'd be flour all over the place. He'd be jamming to some music. So that's how I think about this recipe. There's definitely a recipe when it comes to being successful in this business. Now, that doesn't mean become a robot. Please don't. You will not be successful being a robot, because we are human, right? And we have got to connect, right? And our personalities, our scars, our wounds, our story is going to connect with different people, right? As you let that shine. So you take this recipe that we have, right, of this success recipe, and you mix in your personality, your story, right? You be you within that, but there's still a recipe that if you follow, you'll get amazing results, right? As long as you are consistent, as long as you are coachable, as long as you're willing to take action, as long as you stay connected and you start moving forward and using this recipe, you'll get better and better and better and better at the recipe, okay? So a piece of the recipe is inviting, right? And last night I was explaining that there are like the recipe was given to me about 7 years ago, 7 years ago, by very successful people in this business. Melissa McAllister, Janelle Summers, right? I'm a big believer, like, check who you're following, make sure they're successful, like not just up front, but behind the scenes as well, right? Incredible women, right, that I trusted. And so I heard them speaking, and they gave me the recipe, and I started following, and that's the same recipe I was sharing about last night, and I've shared numerous times, but I'm going to share it again, because it is just that simple. Okay, so one, you have to find new people. You have to always be adding to your list. Everybody does. Every business, every, pastor, every landscaping company, every pizza shop, every dental business, every eye doctor, every business you can think of, like, you out drive anywhere, every business you see, they have to have a list. And you know what I'm saying? That's why Target will collect your email address, or Gap, or Abercrombie, or the list goes on, right? That Kroger, they collect your email address. You are part of their list, right? And they're trying to build trust and relationship and a quality connection with you based on your needs, right? And so every business needs to understand that. And you own a business. How cool is that? And you get to build your list. Okay, and so we have to continually keep adding to it. It's called a business funnel. It looks like this. Okay, you have a bunch of people, and in time, they start to trickle down as you build a relationship, as they enter that stage of change. It's just like Lexus, right? How many of y'all have a Lexus? I don't know. I don't have a Lexus, right? But it doesn't mean Lexus isn't of good quality, right? I've test drove a Lexus, right? So I've seen it advertised, you know what I mean? Here we go at the top of this funnel. How they find people is through different ways of advertising, right? And then I walked into the showroom and I walked around. I kind of liked it, you know what I mean? Walked around. Hey man, like they tried to give me a test drive. No, thank you. I was busy. I needed to get to football practice, all kinds of stuff, but I was thinking about, so I'm shifting down this funnel, right? The test drive. And the test drive is kind of like our free groups. Right? And so I didn't test drive, or walking in and asking questions and looking at the car. That's like our free groups. I didn't take the test drive. I did not take the test drive, right? But that's the business funnel. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I really like the salesperson. I really like the feel of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I didn't really like that color. But I go back in, right, to get a test drive. And they followed up with me, of course. I mean, let's even use one very, very recent example. So Chad went and test drove a Raptor, right? And the guy we even talked about personal development. We really liked them. They were super friendly. My kids liked them. They had free popcorn, free slushies, you name it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they were so friendly and attentive, not pushy and icky. We spent a lot of time talking about what they would give us for the Corvette and all those kind of things. And we test drove it, right? But you know how long it took us to actually go to the showcase room? Months. I mean, Chad has been looking at Raptors for about a year and a half. Before we moved to Texas, Chad was looking at Raptors, right? And researching them and looking at, like, how's that compared to a GMC Denali and all that kind of stuff, right? And finally, a year and a half later, we walk in, all of us, we take all the car seats because that was a big need of ours. How big is the back seat, right? And so we were talking to him and, we really liked the feel of it. We walked around it and then, okay, let's take a test drive. We took it for a test drive. Right? And then we're like, I don't know, the tire, it had this huge lift on it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's just too showy for me personally. But, and those were our opinions of it. It got like 13, 14 miles to the gallon because of these big knobby tires. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, so, anyway, but we were thinking about it because Chad really likes the Raptor. And so we said, thank you. They had our phone number and he continued to follow up with us. Hey, I still have the Raptor. What are you thinking? Like, how can I help you? Like, progress with us? Like, those kind of things. That's a follow-up, right? So you're always finding new people. Your funnel looks like this. You're filling your funnel, right? And so if you're a new coach, you're actually just getting your funnel down on paper, right? You're writing the names down. Every person at 18 knows 2,000 people, and every person on your list knows 2,000 people, right? So imagine how big that list could be if we understood that. Right? So each person isn't going to, it's like, you don't judge them based on, oh, they don't need it or they already like running or all that kind of stuff. Those people are referrals, right? They're connectors. You're thinking of them like connectors. They're like, no, 2,000 people. You build a relationship with them. You could ask for referrals. Hey girl, I know you're an avid runner and you got all of that stuff down. I know you're totally on point with your nutrition, but I was wondering if you know anyone that could really benefit from some one-on-one mentoring to help them figure out how to really get to a place where they're putting themselves first and really getting to a place where their self-worth is growing, because that is my heart. And I want to connect with those kind of people. Right? That sounds pretty genuine. I could send that to people on my list, right? So you shouldn't be prejudging, because they're either going to be invites one day, or they might be connectors, or I might send it to that person writes back like, girl, I don't got it together. Ever since I had my third child, I can't find time to run. I can't even push that jogging stroller with 2 people in it. What are you doing? I need help. You don't know, right? And so that first thing is that list. Every business has it, and you're a business. So we need to treat it that way, right? Make your list, right? Every day you're adding at least 2 people. That's what Janelle and Melissa told me. 2 people. I took it quite literal. I'm not an overachiever. Technically, they said 2. I did 2. I wasn't like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to do 10. And then you build it up to your whole thing. You feel like you have to have 10, 10, 10 of everything. And now you dread doing your power hour, your power half hour. Bull crap. 2. I did 2 for the last 7 years. Every day. Like this. Like clockwork. Boom. Boom, boom, over and over again. What are the people that are doing 10? I'm burnt out. I can't take it. I can't do this. Oh my gosh, it's too much. There's too many messages. Too much. What good does that do us? Every day, 2 new people to my list. Every day, 2 connects. So that's next on the recipe. So you find 2 people, you connect with 2 people, right? You love bomb them. You start a conversation. You get to know them, right? You get to know about their family. How many kids do they have? What do they do for a living, right? Are they married? Are they divorced? Where are they at in their life? What have they been doing since high school? You want to build a relationship. What is the worst thing that can happen from lifting someone up? Nothing. There isn't anything. The worst thing that can happen is you have a friend, a connector, that then says, oh my gosh, like later on, you've got to talk to my girl Summer. I was just connecting with her on Facebook. I've been watching her Facebook newsfeed. She could help you. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So every day, 2 connects, okay? Every day, 2 invites, and this is the piece that everybody leaves out and say, I'm not ready to invite. Whatever. That's the biggest load of crap. That's like Chad briefing, right, for his flight, getting suited up, walking around, and then just saying, I just don't think I'm ready to take action. I just don't think I'm ready. No, Chad would never say that to his crew. Why? Because he had a mission, and so do you. Right? We talked about that last night on the mastermind call. So that's crap, because I shared, and if you look below in this group, you'll see the different ways that we could invite people that is not icky. We could ask for referrals, right? We could reach out and invite people to one of our free challenges. The one we have coming up is the free pumpkin push-up challenge. We could invite them, which I talked about last night on the mastermind. I said, hey girl, I'm new to this, but I really want to make sure that I'm developing and creating and growing a business that truly serves people. Would you be willing to allow me to coach you for 14 days for free and then give me honest feedback about how I can improve it, what you liked about it, and just really some constructive criticism? Right? What? They sign up for the 14-day free trial and you coach them. You give them a meal plan, right? You help them pick out, help them pick out when they're going to do their work. What program are they going to do for the 14 days? They're going to do 21-day fix? Are they going to do T25? Are they going to do, max 30? Are they going to do 22-minute hardcore? What are they going to do? I don't know. Like, do I help them by asking questions like, what do you think your biggest obstacle is? Time. Awesome. You're not going to recommend P90X. Okay, not going to. Insanity, off the table. Body pump, do we even have that anymore? Off the table. Okay, but you're going to be like, okay, so like I'm thinking maybe T25 or 22-minute hardcore. T25 is where my friend Liz started. And you have a picture, right? You say, this is her result. She's a mom of 2. Her husband was in the military when our team started working with her. Do you see what I'm saying? You send the picture. Right? You're instilling belief in them. They're starting to locate themselves in her story, right? You don't have to be the one with the story. You know how many times in my phone I carry around, I have everybody's transformations in my phone, right? And I'll get in a conversation. I do this in Kerrville all the time at gymnastics, right? Get in conversation with people. This would take weeks, right? And it wasn't like, ooh, I'm going to sell these people. It was like, ooh, I'm going to make friend. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm going to make friend. I'm going to talk. There's these human beings in this room with me. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to get to know them. I'm going to get to know what makes them tick. Then I'm going to friend them on Facebook, and I'm going to try to be a positive force in their life on their newsfeed, because I know what most people's newsfeeds look like. So I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb, right? And then we're going to talk again at the next week, right? Just talking. And they'll be like, hey, I saw on Facebook that you work out from home. Does that thing really work? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I thought the same thing. I used to run half marathons, and I was a personal trainer myself, and I taught boot camps, and I thought, P90X sat unwrapped for 2 years. This is what I told many people. And I was like, but look, you got to check out this picture of my friend Liz. Boop. And they're like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? I was like, so I don't know what you struggle with, but Liz struggled with time. She had a little one, and do you understand what I'm saying? And they're like, so what's your biggest struggle? Time, my cravings, not believing in myself. Do you see what I'm saying? And we open this dialogue, right? You can do the same thing when you're typing. Okay, so let's just say we offer 14 days where I just want feedback. This is great for new coaches. Why not? We want feedback. We want to know, what could I do better? What did you like? What didn't you like? Did you like the group? Did you not like the group? Did you like the meal plan? Did you need more help with meal planning? We want to improve, right? And so when these people sign up for the 14 days is you give them a meal plan, you help them pick out their program. What days are they going to work out? Help them look at their week, the next 2 weeks. What do they have coming up? What nights do their kids have sports? Do they need to get up early in the morning to do it? Do you guys see what I'm saying? And you're helping them navigate that, right? And then you can text them. You can start a texting dialogue with them over the next 14 days, or a Facebook where you're checking in every day and you're asking them how they're doing. Or you can start an app Voxer where you're talking back and forth. It's like a walkie-talkie thing. Like, serve them, right? And it does not take a lot of time to do that. Say you'll be like, we can do Facebook messages, give them a choice, or we can do texting where I will definitely respond within a 24-hour period to make sure that I'm really helping guide you, but I'm also staying connected with my family and keeping my boundaries up and all that kind of stuff. So you can explain this stuff to them, right? So that is so easy as a new coach to invite that way. Veteran coaches, you can do it too. You can go to people and say like, hey, I'm tweaking and trying some new things, really trying to listen to the needs of the people that I've been working with, and I really want to try these 14 days out this way and see what you think. Would you be willing to allow me to coach you for 14 days for free? And then give me some honest feedback so that I can make sure that I'm serving people and creating a purpose-driven business. Do you see what I'm saying? Write that down. We can use that over and over. We can say that 2 times every single day. And if then you're like, what if everybody says yes? Put everybody on a wait list, right? Like for me, my limit is really 5 at a time. Honestly, so I get 5 people at a time. The other people come back like, oh my gosh, I love that you're willing to do that with me. I have 5 people I'm working with right now, and I really want to make sure I'm focusing on them. So I'm going to kind of put you down on a wait list, and then I would love to run you through it after I run this group through it. How does that sound? Easy. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you can combine that with the push-up pumpkin challenge. Right? Say, I'll put you in this group. We're doing this fun pumpkin challenge. And then we'll kind of combine that with the 14 days. Make sure you're surrounded by positivity, but also moving in a direction, moving through a program so you can give me some honest feedback about the tools that we're using. Do you see what that's it? Easy. Over and over and over and over again. So remember, we're asking questions, right? Like, so say to people like, sure, I will do that. Awesome. I hope you don't mind, but I need to ask questions so that I make sure I'm pointing you in the right direction and make sure that I'm really serving you. So tell me a little bit about where you're at right now in your journey. Shut your mouth. That's it. That's it. Shut your mouth. Don't say anything else. Okay, just let them talk. And they say, well, I'm really struggling with just my fitness in general. Okay, I get that. Tell me more about that. Is it the desire? Do you not like to sweat? Or is it finding the time? Or is nutrition kicking your butt like it kicks mine? Really tell me where the biggest obstacle is. They start telling you, awesome. Have you tried anything in the past that you have liked or has worked? Or what kind of tripped you up when you did try that? They're like, oh, I tried Weight Watchers. I really liked it, but it was too restrictive. Or I really liked it, but it didn't address the fitness part. Do you see what I'm saying? Like we're just conversating and trying to get to know them, their struggles, their strengths, their interests, their goals or needs. Sign. Strengths, interests, goals, needs. You want to find that, and then you know exactly how to coach them and how to direct them once they tell you. Okay, this is awesome. So I think where we should start, since you really kind of like the CrossFit-y like world, but you don't have a lot of time for it, let's start with 22-minute hardcore. It's only 22 minutes. I think it will give you a good challenge, but also be short enough since you're busy working full-time with your 3 kids. So let's start there, and then I'm going to give you this meal plan, look over it, and let's start to design that together, right? And so, awesome. Okay, what meals stuck out to you and what nights this coming week are busy for you? We need to pick some crock pot options. You see what I'm saying? Like you just start talking them through it, and that's it. And that's how inviting goes. Okay? I always, so I was explaining to one of my coaches that for me, like some of you guys are new coaches, okay? It's like you have a cold market, okay? Like people, like they don't really know what you're doing. They're not sure, or at least you think they don't know what you're doing. You think that they don't trust you. You need to build up that relationship. It might surprise you to know that me too. Because when I find, because every day I'm adding to my list, I find new people, they don't know who the heck Summer Tucker is. Summer Tucker, who? They don't know that I've lost 15 pounds and kept it off. They don't know that I've had 3 kids yet and that I've moved like 13 times now in 11 years. They don't know that I was a military wife. They don't know that I used to do chubby checks. They don't know that I struggled feeling comfortable in my skin till up 7 years ago. They don't know that I'm a personal trainer. They don't know any of this stuff. Right? So I have to build the same relationship that you do with your cold market. And I get it. And I do the same process every single time. Every single time. Like, hey, let's start here so that we can really get to know each other, so we can see if we're a good fit, so that we can build some momentum, so you can give me some feedback on what you need or what you don't need, so that we can tailor this to you and make sure we get you surrounded. Let's start in my free group. Right? And we will start working through, the challenge that's coming up. We'll get you started on a meal plan guide and start making small goals together. How does that sound? Okay? Easy. I do it all the time. All the time, right? It's called expose, involve, and upgrade. And see? But some of us want to upgrade immediately because we want it now. We want our microwave now. Doesn't work that way. It takes time. It takes time. Right? And so why not start there? Why not get them in there and start building relationship, get them surrounded, expose them to what we do, involve them in the community, involve them in our process, and then upgrade them in time to something that really, really will change their life the way it's changed ours. And so this is how I invite you guys. This is part of the recipe, right? Inviting you. It'd be like making the cheesecake. No, it'd be like saying I'm going to make macaroni and cheese and leaving out the noodles. Like, right? Like, you'd be like, what if you're like, well, I just decided not to put the noodles in. Hope you enjoy it. Like, you know what I mean? No, you have to have the noodles. So you have to find 2 people every day. This is what they told me. Melissa and Janelle, 2 people. I have to connect with 2 people every single day. I have to invite 2 people every single day. I have to follow up with 2 people every single day, right? So that guy that Chad was looking at the Raptor, he followed up with us. I saw the text. He would text say like, hey, we still have the Raptor. Did you want to jump on the phone and talk and see if we can work something out that fits your needs? Like, that was the conversation. Why? He runs this business to feed his family. Why can't we think of this business the same way? Why can't we think of it the same way, right? And so we didn't buy the Raptor. Chad bought a different one. He bought a GMC, right? But it doesn't mean this guy should close shop. You know what I mean? Or the Raptor isn't any good. Like it just wasn't a good fit. The tires were too knobby. It looked too much. It was too big and risen off the ground. You know what I mean? But that wasn't his fault. He's still and I would send people to him. I would. What a great salesman that he was. And so I want you guys to understand that you have to follow up, and people still might tell you no. It might be the wrong time. It might not be the right fit. It might not be what they need right now. Does that make sense? And so, but I had to follow up with 2 people every single day, period. And if you go to Coach Essentials, right, which if you go to the top of this group and you click on the header, there's a link to Coach Essentials. And if you go to invite wording, right? There is actually wording ideas for following up with people. It says follow up wording ideas or something. So you don't have to figure it out all yourself, right? Use the tools, the resources that we have, right? Okay, so you have to follow up. You have to check into your challenge groups. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world. right? Set the example. That's how you create belief. There's 3 ways, Maxwell says, pieces to helping create someone's belief, right? 1, you have to set the example. Not be perfect, but you have to show up. You have to share the journey. You have to do the pumpkin challenge. You have to do some workouts. You have to talk about it. You have to go grocery shopping on Sundays. You got to do the meal planning and take a snapshot of it. You have to set the example. Then you have to give them small victories. You have to put them in an environment to have these small victories where they start to believe in themselves. That's number 2. And number 3, you have to surround them by people moving in the same direction. Do you guys see what I'm saying? You're the average of the 5 people you're around the most. You get your people that you want to help surrounded by people that aren't perfect, but are moving in a positive direction and falling down and standing back up and encouraging each other. And I'm telling you, you put those 3 things together, and in time, not today, not tomorrow, sometimes it's 5 years down the road, Liz Taffel, but in time, they start to believe in themselves, believe in the process, and they know exactly who to come to because you're still here with an open, with an open heart and open arms, right? Okay, and that's how this works because we're not dealing with robots. Okay, this isn't a microwave business. This is freaking Thanksgiving type of cooking, right? Where you have a business that when it, as on Thanksgiving, it's like, yes. How would you feel if on Thanksgiving your mom's like, you know what? This year I decided just to do TV dinners. You'd be like, no. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, well, that's what some type of people are trying to get that kind of business. They want to pop it in and they want results like right now. Right now. I want it right now. Doesn't work that way. It also, Thanksgiving dinner also doesn't work if you start the turkey, thaw the turkey, but you never put it in. Right? Or maybe you thaw the turkey, you put it in, you get it out, you don't put it on the table. Or maybe you put it in and then you turn the microwave, the oven off, you're like, I'll turn it back on later, and you turn it on for 15 minutes, and then you turn it off, and you come back in a couple days, and you turn it on, and you turn off. What would your turkey taste like? That's what some of our businesses taste like, because we're like in, like we're out, like we're inviting sometimes, but we're not inviting to our team, you know what I mean? And we have that type, we have like a business that smells foul. Like, do you know what I mean? Like a turkey that you put in the oven 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and you're like of the mindset, like I'll turn it on for 10 minutes every couple days. Or this month you'll turn it, this day you'll turn on for 30 minutes, and then you'll turn on for another 30 minutes. Like next week, that's what it's like. It's foul smelling, right? That's not how you cook a turkey. Well, that's not how you bake a business either. Okay, that's not how you get a business that smells like Thanksgiving. All right, and so you have to follow this recipe. I'm going to repeat it one more time. You have to find, this is it. This is how I've done it. You don't have to stop overthinking it. Stop thinking you have to do 10 at one time or even 5. Bull crap. It is what is stalling everybody out, this sprint to it mindset. How fast can I get there? How fast can I get to diamond? How fast can I get to 6 figures? Bull crap. That ain't what it's about. That's not how you cook this kind of dinner. Okay? It's 2, 2, 2. And I built it that way. Melissa McAllister told me to do it. She said, do it every day. Do it every day. I said, okay. Like Brandon from the movie Greater, I was like, I want to get here. What do I need to do to get there? They told me I did it, period. I didn't argue. I didn't say, oh, do I really have to? Like, I really don't feel comfortable inviting to my team. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, with Brandon, he asked his coach, yes, I want to play high school football. How do I get there? His coach was like, be the first one there and the last one gone. And he wasn't like, but my dad's an alcoholic. You don't understand. I can't be the first one there. Like, he really is unreliable. And my mom works 3 jobs, and my brother's 17 years older than me. I can't really do that. And I have homework, and so I can't be the last one gone. And my mom has to pick me up before. You know what I mean? He was like, okay, done. He didn't make up all these excuses. He didn't say why he couldn't do it. He said, okay, the coach said that. That's what I have to do. Right? I haven't met too many people that came to me and said, Summer, this is what I want to create. And then I said, awesome. All you got to do is follow this recipe. Here you go. I don't know very many people that were like, done. I can do it. And just have been doing this for the last 2 years, 3 years. I don't know very many people. Kristen Sharp is one. You know what I mean? Over. Just the same thing. Over. She's still doing it. Over. No wonder she makes like multiple 6 figures. Right? Most people come to me, I give them the recipe, they're like, I don't want to be judged. Like, I don't like that piece of the recipe. Like, I don't know. Don't you know what happened to me in my childhood? Don't you know what happened here? Don't you know what happened here? Don't you know how my husband treats me? Don't you know? And they try to screw with the recipe and make excuses as to why they don't want to use it. That's not what Brandon did from Greater. That's not what I did. It's not what Courtney Bell did. It's not what Kristen Sharp did. It's not what Rebecca Bain did. It's not what Megan E. Walton did. It's not what Lisa Medina did. It's not what Kara Legault did. I could go on. Right? The people that are successful said, give me the recipe. Took the recipe, said, got it. Done. Got it. Every day. Not always good at it. Brandon wasn't always good at it. Some people laughed at him. You know what I mean? He wasn't the best football player, but he was always the first one there and the last one gone. I am not the best coach. I do not strike the best elite pose. I'm not the prettiest coach. I'm not the most fit coach. But I'm telling you what, I'm the coach that has been there relentlessly every single day. Two, over and over again. Then I shut my computer and I went and hung out with my family. Over and over and over and over again. And that's what success looks like. I didn't try to do 10. I didn't try to do 50. I didn't try to have 250 Success Club points or 50. I tried to have 5. The magic of 5. One new coach every month. Over and over and over and over and over again. And then I taught multiple people to follow the same damn recipe over and on. The ones that didn't succeeded. And that is why I'm sitting where I am today. And the only thing standing between you and that outcome is your ability to take the recipe I just gave you, to put your head down and to follow it. No matter what. No matter what. No matter what your husband's doing. No matter what your kids are doing. No matter what someone said about you in middle school. No matter what your extended family is doing. No matter what's going on. Bullshit. Do you know what I mean? And that is exactly what Scott Mann and I talk about on a regular basis when it comes to that. Allowing someone to speak into our lives and say, you know what? That's BS. That is an excuse, and you know it. It's easy. It's simple. I gave you the recipe. In my opinion, it only takes a power half hour. Do a couple new coach calls a week. You're golden. Teach them how to do the recipe just like that, and your income will start to go up. And you won't be burnt out, and you won't be frustrated. You will have taken action. Just like Chad had to take action. He had to brief. He had to walk around. He had to get suited up. He had to walk around the plane. Then he actually had to taxi. He had to do something. And he had to take off. And it's in flight. Some of us aren't even in flight. It is in flight that you make your adjustments. Some of us are still on the ground trying to make adjustments. You can't. It is in flight that your plane starts to go like this, that you notice it, and you make adjustments. And you make adjustments. And you continue flying right at your mission. So it's time to take flight. It's completely up to you. You're going to follow the recipe or not. I'm here if you're willing to follow it. I'll help you navigate these objections. I'll help you navigate your social media. I'll help you navigate personal development. I'll help you navigate leadership. But the first thing I'm going to ask you when you come to me is, how well are you following the recipe? Did you leave the noodles out of your macaroni and cheese? Because if so, I can't help until you put the noodles in. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you later. See ya.